Yup. Right back at another video, man. Hey, man, we got the NBA has a big bully problem, man. Hey, man, look, man. Y'all know we came here to do, man. Y'all know we didn't come here to do, man. We came here to get straight to the point. What we didn't come to do, man, it's all that other stuff, man. That being said, man. Oh, hell. With that being said, man, hold on. Let's get right to the video.
The history of the NBA, there have been countless great big men. Wilt, Russell, Kareem, Moses, Shaq, Hakeem, Duncan, Dirk, KG, and for years the NBA was a league centered around the big man. In fact, 34 of the first 50 NBA MVPs were awarded to big men. But about 15 years ago, things began to change. The NBA began to shift to a more guard-heavy league, teams began to construct their rosters around shooters and perimeter players, and the once sacred big man began to slip further and further into irrelevance. For over a decade, not a single power forward or center was selected as the league MVP. Big men were used almost exclusively as a distraction on pick and rolls. Things were looking bleak, and long gone were the days of menacing, game-changing seven-footers. But all of that is about to change.
But how are they going to find an answer for this man right here? Oh my goodness.
He just attacks that area. He's going to get a ton.
Drills it for the win! Finding the shoot. Elevates, hangs, off the glass and in! Holy cow, what a play!
When he gets a running start, he is cleared for takeoff.
We going through Giannis said right now. My Bulls. It's tough. They too big. I ain't gonna lie. Pause. The Bucks is they too big for the Bulls, man. We only got we got some big men, but we don't have big men like how they got big men. They got Brook Lopez down there. He was 7 foot, probably taller than that. They got Giannis 6'10", damn near point guard. They got Bobby Portis, which is just shoot straight mid ranges all game. You know, DeMar DeRozan got Bobby Portis because they got him at the 3. So it's just they running they too big for us. But I mean, I'm not gonna give up on my Bulls till my Bulls give up on themselves, you know what I'm saying? So that means I'm not gonna give them Bulls till it's over with, you know what I'm saying? Till, you know what I'm saying, it say that we lost that last game, you know what I'm saying? But until then, I'm gonna ride for my Bulls, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ride for my Bulls to the end, no cap. My Bulls. We see red over here, man.
Seemingly out of nowhere, in a league full of three-pointers, positionless basketball, and the most skilled guard play we've ever seen, dominant big men have made a violent return to the NBA. The big man is back, and it might just be better than ever.
There's only 2 games tomorrow.
Today's video is sponsored by Keeps. Keeps is a subscription-based service that focuses on making it easier and more affordable for men to treat their male pattern baldness. Some of us are getting older, fellas. You gotta take care of yourself, do a bit of maintenance, whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, players in general. In a season-long, record-breaking barrage, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 points and 26 rebounds a game. Numbers that still don't make any sense. His player efficiency rating that season was 32.1. For decades, this record-high PER would go unmatched. And other than a few historic seasons, no one even came close to matching this. Here's a chart of the highest single-season PERs from big men in NBA history. This is literally every great season from every great big man in NBA history. Here's Kareem's historic 1972 season, Bill Walton's MVP season, Charles Barkley's MVP season, Shaq's incredible 2000 season, the best season of Tim Duncan's career. They're all here. And here's Wilt's 1962 record-breaking season that earned him a PER of 32.1. Now, here's Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid's PERs from this season. 3 of the most efficient and productive seasons of any NBA bigs in NBA history, all in the same season. We are talking about a magnitude equal to that of Wilt Chamberlain's prime seasons by 3 separate big men in 1 year. Not only is this level of dominance from 3 players absolutely unprecedented, it's statistically unbelievable. Countless greats over countless seasons, and these 3 young stars.
I think what they think is what they is 2-2 now? Because I think Joel got injured. No, it's 3-2. They still need 1 game. But I swear to God, if the Toronto win this next game, oh man, I ain't gonna lie. See, you know, everybody was talking crazy about the Nets. You see what I'm saying? Because they got swept, which is absolutely crazy to me to know that KD name is not in the playoffs. We got a playoffs without LeBron's name. It's just complete. You know, it's absurd. You know what I'm saying? But you got to think about this though. If the Toronto Raptors come back from a 3-0 lead and beat the 76ers, bro, that is completely crazy. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Joel Embiid is injured right now. You see what I'm saying? And the second option to score the ball when it comes down to really scoring is going to be James Harden. So it's not going to be Tyrese Maxey. It's not going to be Tobias Harris. It's James Harden. He's the second person that they really go to see for a bucket. You see what I'm saying? So if Joel Embiid, you know what I'm saying, ain't playing the game he's supposed to play, then you know what I'm saying, it's really anybody's game. You know what I'm saying? With him being injured, the Raptors could possibly come back and win these next 2 games. Possibly. You know what I'm saying? But you'll never know, man. You'll never know. You know what I'm saying? But at this moment, most people expecting James Harden to step up and do his job because that's what he's a scorer at the end of the day. He was averaging, when KD and Kyrie didn't play for the Nets, he was getting 30-point games. Like it was 30-point triple-double, 30-point double-doubles with ease. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he gonna have to start doing because Joel is injured. You know what I'm saying? And Joel can't really take all that workload on without missing his shooting ham thumb. You know what I'm saying? He can't take all that workload.
I've topped all of them simultaneously. The 2022 MVP race has been quite possibly the most wide open race of any in recent history. From DeMar DeRozan to Stephen Curry to Kevin Durant to Ja Morant, about a dozen players have gotten considerable talks for the MVP award this season. But by the time it was all said and done, 3 players were clearly ahead of everyone else: Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid. Now, is it a coincidence that all 3 of these players are towering big men? Maybe. But there's a distinct gap between them and everyone else for a very good reason. In fact, outside of Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid, here's the list of players to average at least 27 points per game, 11.5 rebounds per game, and 4 assists for a season in modern NBA history. That's it. That's the whole list. Literally nobody. And yet, somehow, Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid all had averages above this stat line this season. We are talking about production from big men that we've never seen in the modern NBA. But it gets even crazier, because since 1976, there have only been 2 players that have averaged more than 30 points and 11 rebounds a game for a single season: Moses Malone in 1982 and Shaquille O'Neal in 2000. And both of them won the MVP in those seasons. It's a stat line that's so difficult to achieve that it's virtually a surefire way to be named the league's most valuable player. And yet, both Giannis and Embiid averaged more than 30 points and 11 rebounds a game this season, and neither of them are likely to win the MVP award. These guys are putting up prime Shaq numbers, and because of how stacked the league is at the moment, both of them will come up short of the MVP. And it's not like these guys are putting up great numbers on bad teams. Both the Bucks and 76ers won more than 50 games this season and earned top seeds in the East. Giannis continues to put up insane numbers as the most dominant two-way player in the league. Joel Embiid became the first center in 22 years to win a scoring title, with an offensive game so refined you'd think Hakeem Olajuwon was his biological father. And Nikola Jokic pretty much broke advanced metrics this season on his way to becoming the first player in NBA history with 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists in a single season. Now, if y'all can recall, it wasn't long ago that the best big men in the entire league were second class to the best perimeter players in the league. Within the last decade, players like David Lee, Tyson Chandler, Andrew Bynum, DeAndre Jordan, and Al Jefferson were making All-NBA teams. I mean, don't get me wrong, those guys were all good players at their peak. But fast forward to today's NBA, and you have to be damn near an MVP caliber player just to make an All-NBA team as a big man. To find dominance from big men like we saw this season, we have to turn the clocks all the way back to the 90s, back when the NBA was controlled by bruising 7-footers. David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley. Now how's that for a league that is stacked with all-time big talents? And these weren't just the best big men in the NBA 27 years ago. This was the MVP leaderboard for the 1995 NBA season. And just look at their numbers. This is absurd. Nearly all of them are averaging a 25-point double-double. It isn't till the 7th spot on the MVP leaderboard that we'll find a non-big man. And the first guard that comes up is John Stockton, who came in 8th in MVP voting that season. Can you even imagine if the best guard in the entire NBA was regarded as the 8th most impactful player in the league? Well, that was the NBA nearly 3 decades ago. And although the quantity of dominant big men isn't quite as deep as it was in the 90s, the quality certainly is. Nikola Jokic has quickly become the best playmaking big man of all time. His basketball IQ, his vision, his ability to manipulate the defense on all 3 levels makes him the ultimate threat at all times. There's truly never been a player like the Joker, and his one-of-one skill set has single-handedly carried his team to the playoffs and has made him the league's most valuable player. Giannis has been so dominant for so long now that when he drops 40 and 15 while being the best defensive player on the court, it isn't some sort of headline. And if his freakish length and athleticism didn't make him impossible to guard, he's now added a mid-post game to his arsenal that makes any defender look absolutely helpless. We are talking about a player with the imposing physicality of a prime Shaquille O'Neal that can also bring the ball up the court and Euro step his way to an easy bucket. This shouldn't even be a thing, but Giannis Antetokounmpo made it one. And Joel Embiid has mastered his offensive game to the point where he doesn't have a single weakness offensively. Shots that were once reserved for the league's best shooters are now well within the bag of a 7'2", 300-pound behemoth. Players this big usually have trouble just getting up and down the court. Meanwhile, Embiid has the defense doing gymnastics as he expertly crafts his way to 30 points a night. All 3 of these big men, each with their very own unique games, none similar to the others, and yet all of them identically as forcefully dominant. And to demonstrate just how historic this season was for these 3 players, I'll leave y'all with this. The 45 Club, a club exclusive to only the most productive players in NBA history. Combine a player's points per game, rebounds per game, and assists per game for any given season, and if that total exceeds 45, they were playing in all-time historic territory. Now, throughout the history of the modern NBA, this has happened just 23 times. It was first accomplished by Moses Malone in 1982, followed by some of the greatest seasons by some of the greatest players in NBA history. Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Shaq, LeBron, Kobe. Westbrook had a ridiculous total of 52.7 in 2017. And most recently, Nikola Jokic joined the 45 Club just last season. This list of players and their best seasons is peak NBA on full display. But if we remove all the players who aren't big men, we are left with just 4 players across 6 seasons who accomplished this feat. 5 of those 6 seasons earned these players MVP honors. This season, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid all joined the 45 Club. And yet, only one of them will go home as the league's most valuable player. The big man is back, and it may just be better than ever. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time.
It is crazy, man, how I thought about all 3 of them is. I ain't gonna lie, Giannis just that man just real like run to the rim. You ain't stopping him. You better just hope that the rush is on your side that game. Cause boy, if they ain't on your side, you ain't getting no charges. You might as well call that game a GG.